On behalf of the graduating class, we would first like to thank Mayor Michael Bloomberg, Commissioner Raymond Kelly, First Deputy Commissioner George Grasso, Chief of Department Joseph Esposito, Chief of Patrol Nicholas Estabila, Chief of Special Operations Division Charles Gamadanner, and Commanding Officer, Burgess Services Unit, Inspector James Dean, and the rest of the department's executive staff and those other agencies represented here today, for allowing us the opportunity to become members of this storied, illustrious unit. We'd like to thank the instructors who worked hard to make the training as informative, realistic, and meaningful as possible. Finally, we would be remiss without thanking those individuals who struggled for these long months through sacrifice, determination, and hard work to make this day a reality. Of course, I'm referring to our spouses and significant others. We can give them a round of applause.
Andrew, you gotta stop.
To understand the significance of becoming an E-man or E-woman, one should first become familiar with the history of this 75-year-old unit. According to Cy Egan, author of the definitive tome on the Emergency Services Unit, Some Very Special Men, the idea of a unit designed to handle emergency situations was born from the old police reserve squads first organized in the Civil War times to deal with riots. By the turn of the 20th century, the idea of a squad available at all times to handle problems that ordinary police officers could not became increasingly apparent. To deal with such problems as horses stumbling into excavations, drownings along the waterfront and park lakes, persons overcome with leaking gas, and of course, especially riots and crowd control. By the early 1920s, the Reserve Policeman Program was so effective that Police Commissioner Richard Enright authorized the purchase of 2 custom-built trucks, similar to the one fashioned on the emergency squad patch, with equipment geared specifically for the handling of all kinds of emergencies. The project was expanded so that the unit handled the duties of, quote, a rescue squad, riot platoon, first aid, and motor patrol squad. The unit served with distinction, and Commissioner Grover Whalen officially established the Emergency Services Division on April 10, 1930, in General Order No. 20. ESU's responsibilities have since grown to include not only unusual criminal incidents, but constant vigilance against and response to domestic and international terrorist acts. We are now part of this city's final line of defense, and just because we're graduating today, we're still accountable not only to each other, but to our brother and sister officers and the people of this great city to continue our learning process, not only about new threats, but new ways of addressing those threats. The training we've experienced over the last 5 months has been nothing short of extraordinary. There are far too many memories of funny moments, trying situations, and personal tests to explore today. Those are stories we can share with our children and grandchildren. However, I can briefly state that we have fast drove from helicopters, rappelled off the sides of buildings, watched horseshoe crabs on the bottom of Jamaica Bay, and have been up close and personal with some of the deadly substances known to mankind. We have collectively been through the finest training in this department, bar none. Not everyone made it through, but those here today have the confidence in knowing that they can and will have to depend on each other with their very lives. We have this confidence because of the extremely knowledgeable instructors and our own intestinal fortitude. We have persevered despite personal challenges such as missed birthdays and other events, family members being born or passing away. From now on, our job responsibilities include deleting I can't and I don't from our vocabularies. No job is too small or inconsequential for us to handle. As the instructors reiterated into our heads, we are not any better than other officers, just a little better trained and equipped. Humility combined with service are distinguishing qualities when assisting other officers as well as the general public. With that said, there's an old saying, to whom much is given, much is expected. You have all been given a gift, one that requires a great amount of discipline, integrity, and pride. You have a wonderful legacy to protect. 75 years of keeping this great city safe. 75 years of defending this city with the sweat, blood, and very lives of those who have gone before us. In closing, I'd like to reiterate the mantra of one of our instructors, which shall remain nameless, Detective Tony Guevara. Know your job, do your job. Be confident knowing that you've been chosen and prepared by the best to to mitigate the worst. That pin job, the water job, the dignitary detail, barricaded perp, the jumper, the hazmat job, the search warrant, building collapse, and so on. From this point on, as members of ESU, you will distinguish yourselves, this unit and the department, by handling anything, anytime, anywhere. Thank you.